I want to fit in to the New World Order. I want to worship Big Brother. I want Homeland Security and the CIA and the FBI to know that I'm no longer a threat to the world order. I no longer believe in borders. In fact, I think that borders are a part of the past. I believe that English, while an interesting language, an archaic language at that, the new language of America should be somewhat of a Meso-Latino language. In fact, the national anthem itself must go because it bludgeons you with sort of a jingoism. And I think it's time to replace it with the Internationale. Joe in Ohio, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Hi, Mike. Hey, for the peaceful nation, I'd like to add a suggestion. I think you should stop the yelling because the yelling does offend people. It's a little bit too aggressive. Maybe you can come across and be a little bit more passive.
I'm trying to do that. In fact, I'm going to go have a female sex hormone injection to cut down on the testosterone overload.
That would be good. How about if maybe you can start drinking decaf coffee, because that'll also calm me down a little bit.
Well, I can go further than that. I mean, I can have some kind of soya drink that increases the amount of female hormones in my body, because the soya contains a starter compounds for female hormones, and it'll make a man more mellow.
And maybe you could put soy cheese on your pizza, maybe light beer.
Oh, I cut out real cheese a long time ago. I switched to soy cheese a while ago because it's more natural. It's in keeping with the earth. It's less cruel. It's less cruel cheese.
Okay, and if we're
you see, if you eat less cruel food, you'll become less of a right winger. The important thing is to get rid of caffeine, certainly alcohol. I think the state should require that all right-wingers smoke marijuana at least once a day, that they should go to a marijuana center and be forced to ingest a joint a day to mellow them and make them kind of nicer so they can listen to HBO at night and enjoy it.
How about no more red meat? Because the red...
Oh, absolutely. Well, red meat is polluting the planet. There's no question about it because, you think about the energy used to raise those the cows and think of the suffering of the cow. Absolutely no meat at all. No animal products, in fact. I think the vegetables themselves need to be eliminated because vegetables feel too. Vegetables hurt. You think corn wants to be picked from the field, Joe?
Mike, broccoli screams. I hear it when I come.
Oh, no, I hear them. Every time I look at broccoli in a soup, I know it's yelling at me, help, get me out of the soup.
How about maybe we can even start. Maybe you can even start with a small dose of pharmaceuticals. Forget that health book. What was the health book? Healing Children Naturally.
No, I think that should be burned. I think that all copies of my book should be burned. I think the government should force the burning of all Savage books because they've only made people upset. I mean, look, think about it. The Savage Nation, The Enemy Within, Liberalism is a Mental Disorder, The Political Zoo. These books have really, really made people nervous. It's made them think about things that they shouldn't be thinking about in the New World Order. Because if you're going to sing the Internationale, where there are no borders, there is no language, there is no culture, and there is no self, and there is no liberty, and there is no individual, the idea of borders, language, and culture is a threat to the New World Order. I believe everyone who owns such a book should turn them into a local police station, and they should be burned in a pyre.
And let's stop the last printing of psychological nudity because.
Well, wait a minute, but that's not a political book, Psychological Nudity.
Mike, that makes us happy, and that makes us feel good about ourselves, and we don't really...
Well, no, I do see what you mean. In other words, the book of my family's stories of growing up as poor immigrants and working their way up without accepting welfare or a nickel from the government, that is threatening. Just to show men who would rather throw themselves off a fire escape than take a nickel of welfare is actually anti-Obama. Because, after all, these are government jobs. The only jobs he's created are in government. How many jobs were created to work for Barney Frank, do you think? I mean, has he created any jobs other than people who carry Barney Frank's belongings? You see? Well, I'm sorry, I'm asking too many questions, and I do worship Big Brother. And I do want Big Brother to love me. I want Big Brother to love me because I love Big Brother. Don't you, Joe? Do you love Big Brother?
I do, and I just got home, and when I turned the radio on and I heard the new national anthem,
Yeah, didn't you feel good hearing the Communist National Anthem? Because that eliminates the jingoistic national anthem of America that you grew up on.
It was kind of nice that I didn't understand the language, I didn't understand the words, but the music certainly made me feel warm and squishy inside.
Well, that's because it doesn't identify with any single nation, Joe. When you have Ben Bernanke of the Federal Reserve and Tim Geithner of the Treasury, who fundamentally are internationalist bankers running our Treasury into the ground, stealing as much taxpayer money as they want without answering to anybody, you must understand that we are no longer living in a sovereign nation. And that is because sovereign nations are a threat to the New World Order. And, of course, what follows from that, Joe, is that sovereign individuals are even a greater threat than sovereign nations. Once the sovereignty of a nation goes, the sovereignty or identity of an individual must go next. Think about it and get back to me.